Hi, everybody. So, okay, I got a whole bunch of things I want to get through, but we'll give you the important stuff right up first. So, chains and depth sorting stuff. Well, I've got an abbreviate. Okay, so I'm gonna do the demo. Doot doot doot. Yeah, I guess we'll do it like that. Like that. Okay, that goes like that. This one goes like that. Okay, that goes like that. This goes like this. That's like that. That one like that. Ooh, let's try to turn this around. Ooh, I tilted it rather than actually turning it. Oh man, this is hard. This is a mind bender. Yeah, and so like this is a good thing, right? Like I think a good exercise is gonna be a mind bender. Like it's gonna break your brain a little bit, and you're gonna struggle at first, at least, because that's the thing, right? This is training, right? Training is gonna change the way you've got to think about something. So this is something I'm not even good at, right? But I'm going to show it to you to show that, it's a struggle. All right. I don't want to set up like any like unrealistic expectations. I don't want you to go into this thinking, "Oh man, he's good at it." And like therefore when I go on it and I struggle, I'm bad and I should just crawl into a hole and die or something. Like no. It's this is actually I've been drawing for a very long time, and this is hard. This is something new for me, and I've been drawing chains as an exercise, but this is the abbreviated chain, and I don't have it on speed dial yet. And okay, hopefully you're getting some sort of idea as to what it is that I'm trying to do here, and that is I'm trying to draw these chain links, and I'm just trying to. This is basically trying to figure out like, oh god, like which line goes in front of which line, right? It's like figuring out when should I break my line, which line goes in front, and this is a problem of depth sorting. So okay, so you can see what the idea is, right? That we want something that this stuff up here is far, and this stuff over here is near, right? And this stuff is kind of like this is foreshortened. For short end. and and so you've got to have this thing where we're turning things, and like we have the if I was to just draw like the upright links of this chain, right, which look like rectangles, the dumb brain wants to do this. Okay, the dumb brain wants to tilt. It wants to tilt. All right, and that's not right. That's wrong. The correct way to do it is this box, if we bust it up into four pieces, okay? Well, if we're gonna draw like a bracelet, let's say a cylindrical, roll like this, right? Well, then all the vertical members are gonna be like this, right? The vertical members, they all stay vertical, 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 right? Like this is how it's supposed to be, right? They're not supposed to fucking tilt, right? Like they're not supposed to go, like this. Okay. That's wrong. That's bad. We're not supposed to do that with the vertical members, right? And so you could actually see where it's like, uh-oh, this one was starting to tilt, right? That was starting to tilt. That's bad. But here's the other funny thing, right? Is that we've got the horizontal flat members, right? And the flat members, those ones are supposed to tilt. Okay, that's why this is a fucking mind bender, right? Because we got to draw, a bunch of vertical pieces which do this. They go and they turn into fucking parallelograms. Okay, that's why this is hard, right? In fact, these things turn into a fucking line. I know I'm swearing a lot, okay, because this is hard. All right, this is harder than you expect. You go into this with some expectations, all right, and this stuff is is gonna defy your expectations. This is you're gonna be in this and it's like, oh my god, Sarge, we're in for a fucking battle. We didn't sign up. I didn't sign up for this fight. And I'm dying, right? So that's the thing, is that you're gonna do these exercises and you're gonna feel like they're a struggle, right? Because they're really simple, right? And they're humbling, they're humiliating. They're humiliating because you're like, oh man, I'm this good artist. And I've done like illustrations of my OC, my Do Not Steal OC, and I'm so good at it. I did color and all this other stuff with detail. And there's this little exercise that I saw on this guy's YouTube, and it was so simple, and I'm getting my ass kicked, and I'm humiliated. Oh no. Okay, so like that's the ego pressure. Okay, that's the ego pressure talking. All right, a lot of times we do things and we're afraid of being seen and of being judged. There's a fear of being judged by others. That's ego pressure. That's the pain you feel, okay? The pain you feel of the ego pressure. So it's kind of funny is that like I thought I'd just dive right into this exercise and already we're getting into the philosophy of it. I thought I would just like leave the philosophy baggage to the end, but you know what? The philosophy baggage is actually a whole part and parcel of this experience of doing the exercise. So that's why I'm giving it to you now, because it's actually becoming relevant. So yeah, we've got these little ones that do that, right? Then you've got like the flat pieces, right? So the flat pieces, like the cross pieces here that go flat and go through, right? If we were going to draw those separately, oh right, then we're going to have them. They're going to do this, right? They're going to do like that, and then they're going to do like that, and then this one here. I'm drawing them on the side, right? We're going to eventually clash them together and turn them into chain links. Right, but I'm just busting these things out separately. Oh, right, and this part is far. This is near, right? You got to understand. Oh, this is far, so it needs to have like a bit of this, right? Because the far and the near side of it, there's the foreshortening that's occurring, right? And like this member here has to be longer than this member because this one here is near and this part here is far, right? And these are about, well, I guess they start to become more square when it's like this, right? Because these are about even, right? I guess we're gonna say that's flat. I'm not even gonna put an indicator on it because there's no need. But the thing is that this side here, right? This part is the near side, and this part here is the far side. so it's like what I'm trying to say is that like the whole point of these exercises, right, is to know where your pen is. And I don't mean where your pen is, on the iPad or on the canvas, but I mean like spatially, right? Like the idea is that when I'm over here, right, I'm far away, I'm getting closer and closer and closer and closer, right? Like spatially in terms of the big 3D space that is this canvas, right? And I know we're drawing in 2D, but we have to think and see and perceive in 3D. And so that's why these exercises are like, that we're making optical illusions here, okay? Right? It's kind of like this piece here. This is the farthest, right? And then this is getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, right? Like you have to know where is your pen at any given time. Your pen is in one point in space, and it's sitting somewhere in this 3D space. So that's what I'm trying to get at with this exercise. And then the thing is that we got to deal with this thing called depth sorting or overlapping, where we're like, okay, fine, I can have an object like this, but then there's an object behind it, right? And then there's another object that's behind that one, and it's getting, we've got all these little overlapping pieces. And this is part and parcel of this illusion of depth, of things getting closer and further. And we have to do these line interrupts, right? It means that if I have this piece here, that when I draw a line, it gets interrupted, right? That like this one, right? The one that's in front interrupts the one that's behind, right? And then we have another one, back here that is interrupted as well, because this one's behind the behind, right? Right? And then there's, look, this one is like behind cubed, right? And so that's what this depth sorting business is about, right? And why I'm doing why this chain exercise here is important, because we're trying to figure out which line's in front, right? Is this line here has to be in front of this line, and this one's behind there, right? And the thing is that whenever we draw shapes, we think of shapes as having one depth, when that's a lie. That's a filthy lie. So what happens is if we have, you know, a single shape like this, right? This is far, but this one's near, right? And this is everything in between, right? This line, you've got these lines that get closer and closer and closer, and this one is all same, right? And this one's near, right? It's also same, right? But it's getting, you know, further and further, you know, farther and farther back, or it's getting closer and closer and closer, right? So you want to understand that there's this distance business going on every shape, on any point on this shape, right? On this whole rectangle. So I'm trying to break your brains here, right? That's what exercises are for, right? They're there to break your brains, and your brain needs to be broken, all right? Because your brain was not fixed. Your brain was never working. It was our brains are deformed. They come out deformed, right? They come out with this common sense that is a deformed common sense that doesn't match reality, or at least it doesn't match the reality that we're trying to create and forge this illusion of reality that we're trying to create here, right? So we got to jailbreak our brains to think different, think new, think in another way, so that we can create these 3D optical illusions. Sorry, I'm just drinking water. Right. So okay. So we can see how this overlapping business works, right? And the thing is that the reason why this is useful, right? Being able to train something like this is overlapping. This is like a bread and butter thing, man. Like, my God, you're going to use this. Like, you could use this for every drawing you do, right? Like, this is such a vital, you know, basic like elemental skill, right? And this is where, you know, you're going to take some ego damage. You're going to take some ego pressure whenever you screw it up, because it's like, oh man, I should already know this. Why don't I already know this? And that's why I that's why I'm often at odds with like a lot of drawing materials out there. Like I have a lot of drawing books, and a lot of those drawing books weren't very helpful. People ask me, oh, which drawing book did you learn from? Oh, so I can be as good as you. I'm like, no. You don't want to do that because I have those drawing books and they didn't help me. Okay, so you know, you want something, you know, you're gonna have to. We're on our own, okay? We're on our own is the way I want to put it. We're on our own, and we got to figure this out ourselves. And to do that, we got to jailbreak our brains. So that's so, you know, you can see, right? Like when I drew this thing, oh look, we've got this line interrupt that's going on, right? We've got these line interrupts that are showing that there's this overlap that's occurring, and to do this, like, you know, this is like, you know, people are like, oh, the first thing you should learn is line quality. And I'm like, bullshit. You know, it's like, you can throw the line quality away, right? There's no line quality in this. This is made of like little separate tiny pieces. I know the animators always say, oh, you should learn to draw from the arm. I used to say you should draw from the arm. I'm like, what? No, you don't actually have to. You know, you can have like a really, here, you know, I used to say, oh, you know, you shouldn't draw with your fingers because, oh, it makes wobbly lines. And I'm like, but you know what? If your wobbly lines start and end in the right places, it's okay. Okay? You know, look, I'm guilty of saying some bullshit, right? That's why I'm making new videos, because I'm like, I'm having a, you know, a fucking 𝕮𝖆𝖎𝖎 moment, right? I'm having a fucking, you know, I've been a fool. And so now I must undo the damage to all of you. I'm so sorry for having done damage to you guys. You don't have to have good line quality. I know many of you probably struggled, and you probably, you know, took some ego damage when you weren't able to make surgically accurate lines, you know, and guess what? You don't actually need to make surgically accurate lines. You don't have to, okay? I'm just saying, I'm coming out and I'm saying that right now. And so I'm just trying to, you know, undo some of that damage right now, right? So this is like so useful for being able to draw like minimalistically without a whole bunch of fucking underdrawing. Right. And I think isn't that like the goal here? Like everybody wants to draw with like on one layer, and they don't need any guidelines, and they want to be like, yeah, that like hey, here, this is it. This is what I'm trying to give you guys, the thing that lets you draw you know, 3D objects, but without an underdrawing. And you know where this is really useful? This is like super duper useful, not just in the digital realm. This is super duper useful in like the traditional realm where you work with pen and paper and you ain't got no freaking eraser, right? So that's why it's really good. Now mind you, right? Without having line quality, you can do stuff like this. You can say, "Oh, I'm going to draw little pieces." Right? And that's fine, right? Like you can do you can do dotted lines, yo, right? And anytime, and you don't have to do it all in one go. You can just kind of, whenever you feel like you're losing control of the stylus, whenever you feel like you're on the bus and the bus is getting a little too fucking bumpy, well then, you just stop the line. You don't have to do it all in one go. You really don't. It's completely unnecessary. Yeah, there, right there. I'm just doing this in little pieces, and that's fine. That's okay. Okay, all right. Okay. There's one disadvantage to leaving gaps, and that is when you use the flood fill tool. The flood fill tool is going to see the flood fill tool is going to see your little gap, and it's going to go, "Oh, a gap, I'm free," and it's going to go. Okay, but that's okay. All right, that's fine. What you can do is afterwards, all right, you can go in there, and you can patch up those holes, but don't do it on the line work because what it's going to do is that it's like they say that perfection is like the enemy of creativity. And so, when you're starting and you've got nothing, you got to be creative. All right. And so the thing is that you actively want to avoid being perfect because that's just going to destroy your creativity. That's just going to slow you down. And, you got to, you're on a killing spree and you got to get your killing in. So, yeah. Right. So back to the exercise. Okay, so version 2.0 of the exercise. This is like when you're like, "Oh man, this stuff is easy. Oh, it's too easy for me. I need something harder. Because I need it to be an expert." Like, okay, that's the ego pressure talking again, right? And that's where you start doing like, the full legit, not Chains Light, but you're doing like, Chains Deluxe mode, DLC edition. And so I guess in this case, I could do, yeah. Here, I'll do them like this, right? In this case, they're still flat shapes, all right? They're still flat shapes. They don't have any, real true depth to them yet. But the thing is that, we're just stacking on another level of difficulty. Okay, so we're just going to draw these as like, flat objects. And you'll notice that like I don't necessarily draw an entire complete chain link. Like, like where's the bottom of this, right? Well, we can add it in later, right? I'm just going to add it in later. That's fine. Okay, we'll get there, right? And this is just going through and we're just crossing our I's and dotting our T's. Or is that dotting our T's and crossing our I's? Right? So yeah. We're just gonna go at this thing with crossed I's and dotted T's. God, that absolutely breaks my brain to say it that way. Right? Oh, it's turning into a parallelogram. No. Right, but that's why this is such a good exercise because it's actually quite simple. But it defies your expectations, and all of a sudden, your brain's going, "Oh, Sarge, this isn't what we signed up for. Oh, how do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?" So that's why it's a great exercise. Wonderful exercise. Wonderful because it's such a heavy weight for my brain, and all I can say is that eventually my brain will get stronger, right? Because the whole point of the exercise is basically to endure. We're going to endure something really, really harsh. We're going to endure this hard mental brain-breaking, jail-breaking exercise. Oh, that line has to go around there, right? So that when it comes time to actually go and draw our Sonic OC, it's going to be, easier by comparison. Because what this thing is doing, this is basically just taking the exercise, and it's just taking all the broken glass, and it's simply taking our brain, and we're just attaching it to the bumper of a pickup truck, and we're dragging us through all the broken glass right now until we become strong enough to survive the mental rigors of this. I'm sorry, I said it with a hard R. I should say rigas. Rigas, okay. The mental rigas of this exercise. My riga. And yeah, like there we go. There. Oh, look, it's actually improving, right? It's like partway through, your brain, your brain will start to say, I get it. I get it now. Okay. Wakarimashita. Your brain starts to go, naruhodo. I actually understand. I get it. Please don't cancel me. I love problematic jokes. This is just a part of my personality, which is problematic. So, thank goodness I'm not on Twitter. Oh God, I would be so canceled. Look, I say it all in jest. Okay, please don't cancel me. please don't give me a community guidelines strike. Oh God, if I wanted to loop it, do I want to loop it? Do I really want to loop this? Oh no, it's all vertical. Why is it not? Oh, because it went and changed color. Okay, I have to turn off that like thing that makes it automatically pick up colors when I long press on something. Oh God. Oh, right. And then I got to cross my I's and dot my T's. Okay, good. Yeah. There we go. Right. So this is the paper chain because oh, it's so bad. Oh, I'm taking ego damage. I need to crawl in a hole. Right. And then like, okay, you thought version 2.0 was bad? We can do version 3.0. All right. Version 3.0 is like where we actually give the chains like, here, I'll draw one chain link all on its own. Because that's easy, right? We just draw it as like a cereal box. Right? That goes in like that. That one goes in like that. That one goes in like that. Oh, but wait. No, version 4.0 is where we just draw it like no internal lines. Only like obscuring lines. This. Right? So that's with just the obscuring lines. And so, yeah, there's like 4 different versions of this chain that you can do that are going to just ramp up the difficulty level. Right? Yeah. So, yeah, useful, actionable. This is useful, it's actionable. Like, because this is just going to give you the ability to handle drawing forms, all kinds of forms, really. And this is just going to help you with your depth sorting. When I say it's self-evaluatable, it means that when you're doing it, you're like, oh, this is hard. Oh my God. Oh, the pain. Oh, I want to crawl into a hole. That's your own self-evaluation, right? When you start to say, oh, wakarimashita, naruhodo, oh, I understand, right? That means you can evaluate that feeling and say, oh, I've actually gotten better at this, right? When you're doing it and you're not even thinking and like the novelty is gone and you're actually getting bored, that means you're a pro, yo. You've got it on speed dial, right? And then if you're doing the same thing when you're drawing your characters, it's like, oh, right? You've worked things from the level of conscious incompetence all the way through to, conscious competence to subconscious competence, right? Like then you've really got it, right? So that's why this is a very useful self-evaluatable thing. You don't need somebody to come along and tell you how good you are. You fucking know when you're doing it. And then it's also, objective, right? You can look at it and you can objectively tell, oh, look at those crappy lines. Oh, they're awful. I need to crawl into a hole. And that's That's what, it's objective. So there's no pussyfooting around it. Like, you'll know when you're doing it right or doing it wrong, and it makes it easier to judge. And so that's yeah, I hope this is useful. Anyway,